Boys, Ceiling MMA here, and I am fucking knackered, right? As you can tell from the accent, I live in the UK, and a few hours ago, I watched live UFC 313. It was a card. That's what I'm gonna say. It had its ups and downs, man. It was actually a really good card, but there were some moments on it that I was not pleased by, and I'm gonna be giving my recap and you know how my picks went. Who I think these guys should fight in the future. So starting off, we've got Jordan Santos versus Ozzy Diaz, whose picture is not loading at the moment. My internet is not very good. Ozzy Diaz won this by UD. I picked him. I actually told my friend who is of legal age to bet I'm not to pick Ozzy Diaz as an underdog to bet on him, put a little bit of money on him, and he ended up winning money. I thought Jordan Santos probably should have won based on the first two rounds. But the first round was close, so maybe you can give it to Ozzy Diaz. This was a good fight. Neither of them have much power, so there was no they were landing a lot, but there was no knockout. So it was kind of just both of them landing a lot on each other. So yeah, it was pretty good, man. I don't know. I'm tired, bro. I got 1 hour of sleep. I'm going to bed right after this. Myron Santos and Francis Marshall. Myron, I'm disappointed in you, mate. That might have been really loud when I just said Myron. I'm disappointed in you. This guy. Firstly, you can tell he trains with Sean Strickland because this guy was not throwing output. He was walking forwards, throwing the teep, and he threw the 1-2 a lot. Lost the first round, got dropped. And by the way, yeah, I want to say this. Eric Nixick, mate, you're going in on Sean Strickland for doing that, but maybe it's just the thing with fucking fighters you train. You know, maybe you're teaching them that. Like, I don't know, whatever. Um, look, I'm still on the Myron Santos hype train. It was a close fight. Francis Marshall probably won. He definitely had the first. I thought he probably got the second. He could have got the third too. I felt like he was landing the better shots. You know, ignoring the takedowns, he was landing better. But I can see giving Myron the last two rounds maybe because he did technically outstrike him on numbers, even though he wasn't not landing the better shots, and he also cut him open. So, you know, it was a good fight, but I don't know if you're arguably losing to Francis Marshall, Myron Santos. Francis Marshall's good, but I was calling this a layup, and I was thinking Myron Santos is gonna chin this guy easily, and he just didn't. Uh, so yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I like Myron Santos though. I still fuck with him. I hope he goes far, but I don't know if he will. Oh yeah, shit. I forgot. Down here, this middleweight fight. Who do I think they should fight? Jordan Santos will probably get cut. Uh, Ozzy Diaz should fight someone coming off a loss. One of the better unranked guys coming off a loss. So maybe Al Hassan. I don't know if Pateria, whatever his name is still even in the promotion. So yeah, well it doesn't really matter. This one, I don't think Myron Santos should get someone ranked. Um, Honestly, I could see maybe a matchup with a Mohamed Naimov. He just beat Khan Offley, who Myron Santos also beat. He's kind of an up and comer, although he did lose, but it was to Felipe Lima, who's also is that his name, Felipe Lima, who's also a good up and comer. Francis Marshall, I don't fucking know, man. I care more about the winners here. Alex Morono and Carlos Leal. Now, firstly, I want to say something. I tweeted this on my Twitter, which I'm gonna link in the description. It's got 2 followers. I'm very proud of that. Carlos Leal actually looks like Leon Edwards. Can you not see just the way he's looking at the camera? I know he just looks like Leon Edwards. He gets it done by TKO in the first round. Alex Moreno has a really good chin. I'll say that. This is a roided up Brazilian hitting you with all these shots, and he didn't even get dropped. He was just out on his feet, still kind of swinging back. But bro, Alex Moreno, you can tell he comes from a jiu-jitsu background because this guy has no fast twitch muscle fiber. I come from a striking, I do MMA, right, but I came from a boxing and Muay Thai background. I would say I'm pretty fast twitch. I can explode into combinations. I can go bang bang bang. Alex Morono cannot do that. This guy, even though he has that, like, apparently he's really high level in jiu-jitsu, he prefers to stand and bang. Not even stand, but just stand. And I'm not shitting on him really. It's just a matter of athleticism, maybe, or just how he's built. He's yeah, he doesn't carry much power. So when he was landing on Lial, it was kind of just like Lial can shrug it off, and then he can just walk forwards, nasty elbows in the clinch, knees down the middle, hurt him to the body, and then just starts landing big shots to the head. He was pulling back and then countering with like the right hand and stuff. Carlos Leal's actually, I thought everyone thought he beat Renat in their fight, and now he's coming off a good unranked win. I think maybe a Neil Magny, something like that. You know, one fight then someone ranked for Carlos Leal. He's like, how old is he? He's like 32 maybe, or 30. I don't know. He looks older than he is. So he could be a good up and comer. As for Alex Morono, just, I don't know, stick to fighting. I mean, he fights like a lot of people, to be fair. You know, like, just stick to fighting whoever, Alex Morono. Man, I don't care. Bruno Ferreira, Armin Petrosian, and by the way, all these picks I got right. I've got this one right too. Bruno Ferreira, obviously I picked him by TKO. I think he got this done by submission, which surprised me. I never saw him as, like, especially in middleweight, like, he's fully rolling. He was on top, on the back. I think he's rolling off, and then he's getting a triangle from the bottom. Armin Petrosian won the first round, but it was a 9-9 round because he got a point deducted because he, no joke, he kicked Ferreira in the balls. Then like 15 seconds later he did it again. I think that does deserve a point deduction. So that was 9-9, and Ferreira was like actually landing, like he was having the bigger moments, he just wasn't having as many. And then yeah, Ferreira, she shot a lot of takedowns, only got probably, I'd say, 2. I'm gonna guess. I am tired right now, lads, so this is kind of shit commentary. But yeah, and he ended up finding the triangle. I picked him as an underdog. I'm glad. I don't even know why he was an underdog. I think next he should fight Shara, because both of them, their last win was Armin Petrosian. Shara's coming off a loss. Bruno Ferreira lost before this fight. I think that would make sense, you know. I don't think either of them are really going to be anything special, to be honest. I know the Shara fans will hate that, but yeah. And as for Armin Petrosian, I have a feeling he might get cut, to be honest. I don't think he should. I think he's pretty good. There's fights in there for him. I don't know who though. Someone. Maybe you know what? Maybe even Ozzy Diaz. I could see that. Is that crazy? I don't know. Josh Van, Ray Cerrulla. I said Josh Van decision. This went how I thought it would go. I think okay. I thought it said Ray Cerrulla got the win, but it didn't. Ray Cerrulla, I see people shitting on him, which I don't understand. Like, they're shitting on him for continuously shooting takedowns. Like, bro, he knew his strengths. You know, you're not gonna shit on Josh Van for wanting to keep it on the feet and doing the best he can to keep it on the feet. Ray Cerrulla is better than Josh Van on the ground. Of course, he's gonna try and get it there. Like, you know what I mean? And he hit a really nice judo throw, and I think it was the second round, but Josh Van got up straight away. He stuffed a lot of takedowns. His sprawl is really good, and he was just out damaging Ray Cerrulla, landing the better shots on the feet. He didn't land like loads, and it wasn't like the typical Josh Van flow state output performance, but he was landing enough to like clearly put him ahead in the rounds. And I think the reason he wasn't landing as much as he did against like Durden is just because Ray Cerrulla kept shooting takedowns, which kind of disrupted the rhythm. But yeah, it was a good performance from Josh Van. For Ray Cerrulla, I see people saying cut him. Don't cut him, bro. He stepped up on short notice to fight Josh Van, who's a legit guy who was just ranked. If Charles Johnson didn't lose, Josh Van would still be ranked. So, you know, firstly, Josh Van, I think you give him like Tim Elliott, or maybe reboot the Bruno Silva fight, one of those two. Ray Cerrulla, just keep giving him like flyweights, like better unranked flyweights, you know? Build him up, because he's good. Like, he's a good wrestler. And he can develop because he's young. What's he, like 22? I think he's younger than Van, or I might be wrong there, but you know, Ray Cerrulla's got a long way to go. I don't think I think we should really shit on him for that kind of thing. Anyway, main card, King. Oh my goodness, bro. This was one of the high points of the card, bro. I in my prediction video I hyped up Ruffy. He's my favorite fighting nerd. He's one of my favorite lightweights right now. And people were calling him the worst fighting nerd before this, and I already see people calling him the best. I mean, he probably isn't. It's probably like Braulio, right? But holy shit! So basically, if you didn't see this, which should have, oh, this was crazy, bro. The fight was kind of like, okay, Bobby lands like one punch, and I think he landed two front kicks down the middle, couple leg kicks. Ruffy's kind of just standing there. He catches him with a 1-2, wobbles Bobby into the cage. Then a while later, he walks forwards, fakes the left hook, uses the momentum from that to spin into a spinning heel kick, and it connects like just right in the perfect place, and puts Bobby Green out cold. I woke up my dad, literally shouting at that knockout. That was crazy, bro. Bro, Bobby Green should fight Michael Johnson. He's coming off a win. Two unks fighting, why not? Ruffy is tough. I saw MMA Guru saying he should fight Bahamondes, which I don't mind. It is two prospects though. I think the Dariush fight, why not though? You know, maybe give him that. I think that's a good call out. Or the winner of BSD Alvarez, maybe. I'm tired. Okay, now we get to this might be the low point of the card, because not only did Yasmin Lucindo look shit and disappoint, and I believe she was my first wrong pick on this card. Let me check. Yes, she was. This fight was shit. So basically, it would be Lemos would land like a couple shots on the feet. They would kind of engage with the grappling. Lemos in the first 2 rounds was the one who got the takedowns, right? And she won them comfortably, and then Lucindo won the third. But with the grappling, it was just a fucking hug fest. Like, I'm not one of those people who sees any grappling and calls it a hug fest, but they weren't doing shit on the ground. They were just lying there. They weren't getting booed by the crowd somehow. And Lucindo, like, I picked her because I was like, okay, she's going to be able to use her offensive grappling here. And she barely did, bro. She barely did. She's the one that got taken down and out-grappled in the first 2 rounds. I'll get to who I think they should fight next in a second, right? Women's MMA, I swear, you'll have it's like 2 out of 10 fights are good, right? But then every other fight is either shit and boring, or it's the person who loses to like the most basic skill ever, or it's both. If you want me to give you an example, the Manel Kape versus Asu Amabayev card had a fight on it, and I believe it was Andrea Lee who lost. I might be wrong. It was Andrea Lee versus like JD something. I don't fucking know. And the girl who won, JD whatever, literally won with a jab and sometimes a cross. And Andrea Lee, who apparently is a black belt in Taekwondo and has been doing MMA for ages, had no answer to that basic combination that you learn literally in your first boxing lesson. Bro, I spar. The other day I was at my gym. I was sparring with a middle-aged lady who's been doing MMA for like probably a year, and obviously I'm letting her work. I don't really want to hit this middle-aged lady clean. I'm kind of just like maybe tapping the legs or flicking out the jab, right? And this lady's like, she's throwing like 1-2 body kick or lead hook, cross, leg kick, and I'm thinking like, she's literally throwing these combinations better than professional female UFC fighters who get paid sometimes hundreds of thousands to do this shit, bro. And I'm just thinking like most of these fucking, apart from Shevchenko and Wei Li and, you know, Grasso and some of the girls on top, you know, so many of these girls, they can't fucking throw basic combinations. When they get to the ground, they don't do shit. Like, what, like, what are we doing here? And it ruins cards too. I don't know, man. It's not like I'm against women's MMA. It's just like, why is this on the main card of a pay-per-view, bro? Like, why can't we have had Van Saruya on the main card? Why? Or when Blades versus Kuniev was booked, why couldn't that be on the main card instead of this? Like, what? Anyways, I think Lemos should fight the loser of Jiaonan and Jandaroba, and Lucindo should fight. Let me have a look at my rankings here. Rebus or Tabitha Ritchie, they're both coming to Flosses. She should fight down because obviously she's just lost. Yeah. Jalen Turner, Ignacio Bahamondes. So we are back on track here. Jalen Turner's probably retired, which is fine. He's just dumb, man. I swear. I mean, early on, I felt like Bahamondes was slightly pulling ahead. There wasn't much to see, but he was slightly pulling ahead in the striking. And then he basically, Bahamondes put himself in bottom position. I can't really remember how it happened, but he did. I haven't rewatched it, man. I'm sorry. And Jalen Turner, despite being on the ground with someone who is the better grappler, who was landing elbows on Jalen off his back, instead of trying to get to his feet, or really even being that active on the ground, he sits there and gets put in a triangle off his back. So yeah, I don't know, man. It was just you probably tell I'm tired. I'm glad Bahamondes won because he's a good prospect, and I picked him to win. I picked him by KO in like the third, I think I said. But still, yeah, I'm glad he won. Jalen Turner is retiring, but if not, I think he should move to welterweight. As for Bahamondes, I think there are opportunities in the rankings there for him. Let me actually have a look real quick. He could fight maybe a BSD if he loses to Alvarez. There's matchups here. Faziev's coming off a loss. Maybe he could welcome a prospect. Even Grant Dawson is there. Maybe he'd want to fight another one. I don't know. The co-main, Justin Gaethje and Rafael Fiziev. Bro, I was so happy, man. Justin Gaethje's back. Not only did I pick him as an underdog, I'm just glad Justin Gaethje's back. I mean, he lost the first round. Fiziev even took him down twice. But in the second round, he dropped Rafael Fiziev with his fucking sick uppercut. By the way, his chin is still intact. I'm pretty sure he got hit with a wheel kick. He was getting hit with good shots and taking them. So I'm glad, because I was every time Fiziev landed or came close to landing something big, I was like, I was shitting myself, man. I was like, please, Justin, don't go to sleep here. And the third round was pretty even, but towards the end, I felt like Gaethje had more energy in the tank, and he was doing really well with the clinch striking. He literally was in the clinch and then landed a head kick from the clinch, which was sick. I thought Fiziev was going to go out to it, but he was fine somehow. And Gaethje was landing like uppercuts in the clinches and right hands over the top. So I'm glad he won. Please don't give him Makhachev next. Fiziev, as I said, he should fight down. Maybe a Gamrot rematch, you know, because I want to see that happen again. I'm pretty sure that was booked actually, but it just didn't happen. As for Gaethje, bro, maybe get the Dan Hooker fight rebooked. Why not? Poirier is an option. Why not? Poirier needs a retirement fight. You know, I swear, if they give Gaethje a title shot, and I'm putting the mic very close to my mouth, if they give Gaethje a title shot, I will be so pissed off, bro. Why? That'd be pointless. And, I could see them doing it, because Islam literally said he'd be interested to fight Gaethje. Or do Gaethje to Poirier. I mean, Topuria would chin him. And I don't know if I'd want to see that, because that's another fan favourite, but then we have an excuse to make, if they don't want to make it straight away, to make one of the best fights of the century. Anyway, on to, this might be the lowest low. Pereira and Kalaev. Fuck! Man, I have to be quiet, but oh my goodness. Listen. Alex, okay. Firstly, I see a lot of people saying domination for this fight. Alex Pereira arguably won. I had him winning rounds 1 and round 5, and round 3 was very close. I actually thought, when I was watching it live, I actually gave it to Alex Pereira. He didn't look good. Looked, he looked really good, to be fair. For like, his boxing was good. I do think Ank's the best boxer right now at light heavyweight. Not all time, it's Gustafsson for light heavyweight, but Alex, I felt like he went in there and he probably thought like, okay, I can stuff the takedowns, and he was hesitant of the takedowns clearly, which is why he wasn't really throwing the right much. Maybe he was worried he wouldn't be square when Ankalaev shot, because he would have turned on the right hand and then Ankalaev would have been able to get the single leg or something. But he was throwing the calf kick a lot, the leg kick with his lead, and maybe he was thinking like, oh, his leg's going to give in like it did with Yan, but like, as much as I think Alex Pereira is a better leg kicker than Yan, like I think he's better at it, he's more skilled. Yeah, a leg kick from Jan Blachowicz is going to hurt more and do more damage than one leg kick from Alex. So Alex wasn't able to do that. I picked him because I thought he was going to be like going after it more. I thought Ank is pretty vulnerable on his right side, and I was thinking, okay, this guy could definitely get caught. Alex barely let his hands go, man. And that's the thing. You can't just blame Ank here. I blame both of them. It wasn't a great fight. Alex was hesitant. And I'll just go, let me just go through this. So, first round, I thought pretty clear Alex Pereira. There are people trying to argue this for Ank. I think you're retarded if you do that. Alex was landing some jabs and a lot of leg kicks, and I felt like Ank landed some leg kicks of his own, but he wasn't really able to find his time with the punches, and it was pretty clear Alex round, and he stuffed a takedown at the end, which played into the second round where so towards the end I felt like Magomed was like slightly ahead in the second round, and then at the end, at the very end of the round, he's backed up Alex to the fence, and this, by the way, this is the first time I've ever seen Alex getting actually walked down like this, because he was so clearly afraid of the takedown, which is dumb. And instead of shooting, he lands it was either a right or a left. I think it was a left hand, which actually like wobbled Alex, solidified the round. So we were 1-1 going into the third, and this was the third and the fifth were close, and that's why I see so many people saying, "Oh yeah, you can't argue that Alex won this. It was a domination." I think it's because the rounds that Alex did win, apart from the first, they were close, or the rounds that you could argue him winning were very close. In this round, Ank actually stunned him with a jab, and that was his best shot. But Alex once again was landing the leg kicks. I believe he landed a right-left kind of with two hooks on him as well in this round. And he landed a couple jabs and I think some kicks to the body. Although Ank was doing good with the front kick to the body. I think that was the second round though, not this round. So I gave the edge to Pereira here. I might need to watch it back there. Round 4, Ankalaev starts Bautista maxing. He pushes Alex against the cage, and he's landing shots. He landed knees to the thigh, knees to the body, and some punches. So Alex didn't really do anything that round either, apart from stuff takedowns and actually get a takedown at the end of his own. He's the only one who got a takedown the whole fight, and Ank was the one who rocked him. So it was like, it's just so fucking weird, man. So Ank had that round. For me, it was like, okay, we're 2-2 going into round 5. That's what I thought. And round 5 was really close. Ank did push him up for a minute against the fence at the end of the round, and he was landing knees to the thigh, but not really much else. Whereas Alex, he landed a good jab in this round, a good shot. He was landing his leg kicks, and he landed a head kick off the guard that seemed to have stunned Ank. So that could, like, I thought Alex could have won. I thought he probably, live I gave it to him. I'm probably going to rewatch it. But the people who were saying Ank, like, outstruck Alex, I think that's not true. Alex obviously had the first, Ank had the second, and these were both on the feet. And in the third, it's a swing round. I leaned Alex. The fourth, that wasn't striking, that was pushing up against the fence and landing pit-a-pat shots. That's not striking, that's grappling. And then round 5, Alex did outstrike him. The Ankalaev fans' argument in round 5 for him winning that is pushing against the fence. What's that noise, bro? Anyways, yeah, bro, you know what? I'm also pissed off because I see people getting called poetards and casuals for wanting Alex to win. Like, I'm sorry that I want the guy who has the prospect of moving up to heavyweight and has all the prospects of all these big fights against John Jones, Aspinall, even fucking Usyk he's hinted at, or Dricus, you know, there's history there, who has the prospects of those fights happening. I'm sorry I want him to win. I'm sorry I want the guy who, I'm sorry I don't want the guy who in his last fight had a disappointing kind of slow-paced performance to win versus the guy who in his last fight was ill and still went out there and put on a great fight and brutally finished his opponent and did that in his last 3 fights before that. You know? It's like, you're not a casual if you wanted Alex to win. You're not a casual if you picked Alex as a close fight, and this was a close fight. I was actually looking forward to making fun of Kenny Okoye if Alex won, but that's not going to happen. I think the rematch will happen for both of these guys, and I don't know who I'd pick. Anyways, I'm tired, I'm going to go to bed. That's it for me, lads. Like and subscribe. In a bit, lads.